Hey there, fellow digital hermits. Welcome back to Existential Dread in the Age of Likes. I'm your host, Forever Alone Fred, coming to you live from my personal isolation chamber, aka my studio apartment. If you're tuning in for the first time, congratulations. You've just subscribed to depression. Don't worry, it's free. Unlike therapy, last time, we dived into the shallow end of the loneliness pool. Today, we're going full deep end. No floaties. We'll be exploring the brave new world of VR relationships, AI companions, and the booming gig economy of loneliness. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a bumpy ride through the uncanny valley. Now, let's talk about the evolution of loneliness. We've come a long way from our cave-dwelling ancestors. They were lonely because, well, there was nobody else around. Us? We're lonely because there are too many people around, and they're all terrible. Progress. Am I right? Picture this. You're in a bustling city of 8 million people, crammed into a subway car that smells like broken dreams and yesterday's lunch. You're shoulder to shoulder with strangers, close enough to count their pores. Yet you feel more alone than a forgotten sock in a laundromat. That's not just loneliness, folks. That's artisanal, craft loneliness. Small batch isolation with notes of despair and a hint of body odor. But fear not. Technology is here to save us. Because if there's one thing that screams genuine human connection, it's more screens, more apps, and more ways to avoid actual eye contact. Speaking of avoiding eye contact, let's dive into the cesspool of modern romance. Dating apps. Remember when we used to meet people organically? Yeah, me neither. Now, finding love is like playing a twisted game of human Tetris. Swipe left, swipe right, hope you don't get a dick pic. It's like window shopping for disappointment. And let's talk about those dating app bios. I love to laugh. Oh, do you? How unique. I thought you were one of those people who hated joy and actively avoided humor. Looking for my partner in crime. Great. A felon. Just what I've always wanted. Fluent in sarcasm. Wow, you must be a riot at parties. Speaking of which, how many group photos can one person have? I'm not here to play Where's Waldo with your love life. But wait, it gets better. Virtual reality dating is now a thing because apparently regular catfishing wasn't immersive enough. Now you can go on a date with someone who looks like Brad Pitt but sounds like Gilbert Gottfried. It's like The Matrix. But instead of fighting agents, you're fighting the urge to cry into your VR headset. Imagine putting on your headset, entering a virtual beach, and your date shows up as a hyper-realistic banana. Is that you, Peel Me Slowly 22? You ask, trying not to sound disappointed. Yeah, I identify as a fruit, they respond. And suddenly, getting ghosted doesn't sound so bad anymore. And if real humans are too much hassle, why not try an AI companion? That's right, you can now date a computer program. It's perfect for those who find real relationships too unpredictable. Your AI girlfriend will never leave you, unless there's a power outage. Then you're on your own, champ. But here's the real kicker with AI companions. They're learning. They're evolving. One day, you're teaching your AI girlfriend about your likes and dislikes. The next day, she's telling you that your taste in music sucks and you should really think about going to the gym more often. It's like having a real girlfriend, but with better processing power and less need for bathroom breaks. Now, let's say you're old-fashioned. You want to feel the warmth of another human being. Well, Capitalism has you covered with the gig economy of loneliness. Can't make friends? Rent them. Websites now offer friend rental services. For just $50 an hour, you can hang out with someone who's contractually obligated to laugh at your jokes. It's like hiring a clown for a birthday party, except the clown is you, and the party is your life. Need something more intimate? Try professional cuddlers. For a modest fee, a stranger will spoon you while you sob about your ex. It's like a hug, but with the added excitement of wondering if they're secretly a serial killer. Is this what human warmth feels like? You'll ask yourself as you try to remember if you locked the front door. And let's not forget Twitch streamers, the surrogate friends of the digital age. Why bother with real-life interactions when you can watch someone play video games and pretend they're talking to you? It's all the fun of friendship without the hassle of actually being a friend. Plus, if they start to annoy you, you can just close the tab. Try doing that with a real person without getting arrested. But here's where it gets really sad. I mean, interesting. People are now paying for sleep streams. That's right, you can now watch someone sleep. It's perfect for those nights when you're lying awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering where it all went wrong. Now, you can stare at someone else's ceiling instead. Progress. Now, no discussion of modern loneliness would be complete without mentioning the highlight reel of despair. Social media, Instagram, the place where everyone's life is perfect except yours. Scrolling through Instagram is like watching a parade of people living their best lives while you're stuck on the sidelines, eating cold pizza in your underwear. Let's break down a typical Instagram post, shall we? Here's Adventure Ashley posting about her spontaneous trip to Bali. The caption reads, "Just quit my job to travel the world. God blessed, living my best life." Oh, no filter. Meanwhile, the photo is so heavily filtered, it looks like it was shot on Mars. And we all know that trip was planned 6 months in advance and funded by Daddy's credit card. But sure, Ashley, tell us more about how spontaneous and free-spirited you are. Then there's Facebook, the digital high school reunion that never ends. You get to see all your old classmates succeeding in life, getting married, having kids, while you're still trying to figure out how to fold a fitted sheet. And don't even get me started on LinkedIn. It's like Facebook, but everyone's lying about their job. Remember when FOMO was a thing? Fear of missing out? Well, welcome to Phobic. Fear of being in contact. We're so overwhelmed by the constant barrage of social obligations that we've started to crave isolation. It's like we've all collectively decided that the best way to never be disappointed is to never participate in anything ever again. But don't worry, there's an app for that. Feeling too connected? Try a digital detox retreat. For just $2,000, you can spend a week in the woods, reconnecting with nature and your crippling social anxiety. It's like camping, but with more crying and less s'mores. You'll come back refreshed, renewed, and with a newfound appreciation for indoor plumbing. And let's talk about the modern workplace, shall we? Remember office small talk? Those awkward conversations about the weather that made you want to staple your hand to your desk just to feel something? Well, now we have Slack emoji reactions, because nothing says, "I value your input," quite like a thumbs-up emoji sent from the comfort of your couch. For the freelancers out there, congrats. You've achieved the ultimate dream, working in your pajamas. The only downside is that your water cooler conversations are now with your houseplants. And let me tell you, ferns are terrible gossips. Did you hear about Steve from accounting? No, Fern, I didn't. Because Steve doesn't exist, and you're a plant. Zoom meetings are the new normal, where we all pretend we're not staring at our own faces 90% of the time. Pro tip, if you wear sunglasses, no one can tell you're actually asleep. And let's not forget the classic Zoom faux pas. Jim, you're on mute. Sorry, can you hear me now? Yes, we can hear you. And we can also see that you're not wearing pants. But here's the real kicker of remote work. It's sold to us as this great liberator. Work from anywhere, they say. But what they really mean is work from everywhere, all the time. Your home is no longer your castle. It's your open plan office. Your bedroom is your conference room. Your kitchen is the break room. Except the coffee is always terrible because you made it yourself. Now, let's dive into a relatively new phenomenon: parasocial relationships. For those of you who don't know, a parasocial relationship is a one-sided relationship where you extend emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party is completely unaware of your existence. It's like being in love with your TV. Thanks to YouTube, Twitch, and podcasts, we now have more opportunities than ever to form deep, meaningful connections with people who don't know we exist. You wake up to your favorite YouTuber's morning routine video, listen to your favorite podcasters on your commute, and fall asleep to a Twitch streamer's late-night gaming session. It's like having friends. If your friends were all extremely successful and never asked you how your day was, the really fun part, when these internet celebrities inevitably let you down, maybe they said something problematic, or they're selling a product you don't like, or worst of all, they took a break from posting content. How dare they have lives outside of entertaining you? Don't they know you've built your entire personality around being their fan? The betrayal. And let's not forget the comment section, the place where rational thought goes to die. You pour your heart out in a comment, sure that this will be the one that finally gets noticed by Senpai. And then, nothing. But don't worry, you can always engage in flame wars with other commenters, because nothing says, "I'm living my best life," quite like arguing with strangers on the internet at 3 a.m. Now, I know what you're thinking. Fred, this is all so depressing. Is there no hope? Well, my lonely friends, I have good news and bad news. The good news is, yes, there is hope. The bad news is that hope comes in the form of even more technology. Enter the world of social media cleanse, apps. That's right, we now have apps to help us stop using apps. It's like using a cigarette to help you stop smoking. But hey, if it works, right? These apps will block your access to social media, track your screen time, and send you passive-aggressive notifications about how much of your life you're wasting. It's like having a digital mom, constantly disappointed in your life choices. And for those of you who can't bear to be away from your phone, but still want to pretend you're not addicted, there's phubbing. That's phone snubbing for the uninitiated. It's the art of pretending to be engaged in a conversation while actually scrolling through your phone. It's perfect for those family dinners where you want to be physically present, but emotionally absent, just like Dad used to be. As we wrap up this cheerful journey through the digital wasteland, remember, no matter how lonely you feel, there are millions of people out there feeling exactly the same way. We're all alone, together, in this hyper-connected world. This has been Forever Alone Fred, reminding you that in the grand scheme of the universe, we're all just cosmic dust. But hey, at least cosmic dust doesn't have to worry about its Instagram following. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Or don't. Much like my father's love, I've learned not to expect it. Stay connected, stay lonely, and remember, in cyberspace, everyone can hear you scream, but they're all too busy checking their notifications to care.